What's up, YouTube? HPJ here. I'm coming at you guys with a Salamangreat Deck profile. And happy April to everyone because, well, we're still waiting the TCG ban list. And after the nice little tidbit of information that they gave us, um, I'm not going to hold it too far. It's still pretty early in the morning. I mean, early in the afternoon at the time of this recording. So I'm just going to go off of what I built, what I put together, and then just enjoy whatever they throw at us on the TCG list, and I will build accordingly once that gets announced and revealed. So, without further ado, let's get into the Salamangreat deck I have built. So, for my lineup, very, very budget. I just want to say it's very, very budget friendly if you're planning to play this. I'm running 3 copies of Salamangreat Gazelle. I'm running 3 copies of Salamangreat Spiny. We actually put everybody together. There we go. 3 copies of Salamangreat Foxy. 1 copy each of Salamangreat Mole, Salamangreat Falco, Salamangreat Jaguar, and 3 copies of the beautiful Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. To follow that up, if you guys have the chance to get this card, please do, because it took me a very long time to get this. 3 copies of Lady Debug. And the last monster in the main deck is 3 copies of Effect Veiler. So that is all of my monsters. For my spells, I'm running 3 copies of Salamangreat Circle, 1 copy each of Fire Fusion, Salamangreat Sanctuary. Oh no, Will of the Salamangreat and Salamangreat Sanctuary. Then to follow that up, my last spells, of course, are 1 Raigeki, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Monster Reborn, and 1 Super Polymerization. So that is it for all my spells. For my traps, I'm running 3 copies of Salamangreat Roar, 2 copies each of Salamangreat Gifts, Salamangreat. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't Salamangreat. Yeah, that was Roar. Salamangreat Rage, and 2 copies of Goes in Match. So that is pretty much it for my main deck. For my extra, I'm running 3 copies of Salamangreat Bow Links, 3 copies of Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf, 2 copies of Salamangreat Heat Leo, 1 copy of Salamangreat Violet Chimera, 2 copies of Salamangreat Mirage Stalio, 2 copies of Hita the Fire Charmer Ablaze, 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, and 1 copy of Gaga Cowboy. I think the only monster I'm probably missing from this lineup is I can... Nope, 15 cards each. Alright. So that is pretty much it for it. Some other cards I could have fit in. I honestly would have tried to fit in another... my Exciton Knight, if I remember to put it in here. But the deck itself is pretty much... it's a pretty budget-friendly deck. The only big issue, of course, is the Lady Debugs, because every time I see these lovely ladies, they get sent right off the shelves. And the reason why is because this is a key card to this deck, despite the fact that I'm running Goes in Match. And the whole scenario with her is you use her to search for your pieces, but you use her to help you summon out the bell links. So what you do is you summon her, and then you search for Spiny. Then you let this go to the graveyard to special summon your links. Then your links will go get Sanctuary. Sanctuary will activate. You'll send links to the graveyard and get links onto the field. So that way you can have multiple links in the graveyard to protect your other Salamangreats. You'll have Spine in your hand who you can discard to special summon, and you can go into a lot of your other combos there. Hopefully you have enough of the other cards in your hand. But this is your Cyberse searcher. There is the other card, I forget her name, the Sanctuary, I forget what her name is, but she's the other level 3 Cyberse monster you can combo with this. There's also the Buffalo monster you can use as well, because he allows you to discard when he's sent to the graveyard and then draw cards off of him, if that's your business. And then I think there's one more monster. It's like a level 4 Cyberse or level 4 Pyro monster, and you combine it with the deck and it helps get a lot of things together. I just don't know their names. I do apologize. But we have the Gazelle, we have the Spiny, and of course, we're going to talk about Foxy. These three are pretty much some of your big setups for your deck. Foxy allows you to excavate the top three cards of your deck and then add a Salamangreat card from your deck to your of those three cards to your hand. It's like Pot of Duality, and the other cards go back to the deck. What you really like having this on the field to do is to search. Then his other effect is that on the top of my head. You can discard a Salamangreat card to special summon this card from your hand, and then you can destroy a face-up spell or trap card your opponent controls. So it helps you get rid of floodgates, helps you get rid of nasty continuous cards and stuff like that. Really does help you when you're going up against Ultra guys because you want to pop a lot of their stuff. The only thing is if you do waste the effect, it does. I think because they have a continuous trap that negates your monster effects. If you can make them waste it for the turn, then you can combo with another card and then go into your other stuff as well. The Spiny, you can discard it from your hand, give a monster on your side of the field additional 500. A Salamangreat monster, 500 points. You can special summon him from the graveyard if you control a Cyberus monster. And just tons of plays there with the rank 3s. Then you have Gazelle. So Gazelle and Spiny are pretty much a big combo because if you pitch Spiny, you can special summon Gazelle. Then when Gazelle is normal special summon, you can send a Salamangreat card from your deck to your graveyard, so you can combo with the Jaguar, and Jaguar can send something back to the deck and then trigger himself to special summon. It's a lot of combo plays that have to do with sending the monster to the graveyard, sending spells and traps to the graveyard with Salamangreat there to name, and these cards help survive stat and keep that flow going. Now, going on to the rest of the Salamangreats, I'm only running one mole as a pot of avarice option. That's pretty much what his effect is. And if I can get him to the field, of course, that's just an easy setup there. The Falco allows us to send the spells and traps to the graveyard. And then on reconnaissance, you can put them to the field. If there are any in the graveyard. And of course, we have the Jaguar to return a Salamangreat card from your Salamangreat monster from your graveyard to the deck to special summon himself from the graveyard, and he can inflict piercing damage to your opponent. So those are all the Salamangreats. I've talked about the beautiful Lady Debug. Now let's talk about these hand traps. So I'm running a full set of Ash Blossom, Joyous Springs, and I'm running Effect Veiler. If you can't afford, of course, Thanos Dragon, Bella in the Haunted Mansion. If you can't get yourself a set of Ghost Ogres, the best thing to ever come out the Salamangreat TCG deck, of course, is the reprint of the Ash Blossoms and Joyous Springs. The interaction it has with Sunlit Wolf, the interaction it has with a lot of your fire cards. You have a ton of recovery and a ton of support thanks to this. The Effect Veilers is pretty much if you can't afford Infinity. I know Infinity is getting reprinted. Literally, the reprints come out the day after this recording was done. So if you do manage to get Infinities, you can easily put them in and make your deck a little more high up. If not, Effect Veiler is your way to go. If you want to bling it out, you can always just get the high rarities of Ash Blossom, Joyous Springs, Effect Veilers, and stuff, because they do come in dual power as well. But I just wanted to have a combination of some good hand traps. I do have Ghost Ogres. Yeah, was it Ghost Ogres and Snow Rabbits? I have the Winter Cherries and the Ghost Reapers inside for those side combinations as well for hand traps in case you want to swap in and out between the sets. So that's pretty much the monsters. Going on to the spells, super polymerization. I think I want to talk about this real quick. This is pretty much because I'm still running the Fusion Engine. I'm questioning if I still want to run the Fusion Engine or I just want to go full out Links and Exceeds. But because of how this deck sets up for Violet Chimera, I wanted to drop it in here and get a lot of that going. Super Polymerization, of course, is one of the most broken fusion spells because it can't be negated on its activation. Its effects are going to go through, and all you really need is a discard. And you can use your cards and your opponent's cards on the field to make your fusion monster. So if, especially in mirror match, if it's Salamangreat, because that's also why I was questioning, like, should I main it or should I just side it in as a setup for the side deck? Because Salamangreat mirror match, you can, whoever super polys and sets up can easily win the game. So that is the Super Polymerization. Dark Hole, Raigeki, Monster Reborn were just three, of course, staples that I put into a lot of my decks. I easily take them in and out, but in some situations, I need to get rid of the monsters, and then if I need to reborn, I will reborn. Salamangreat Circle is pretty much our rota for the deck, or a Forbidden Lance if you get the chance to use it. So it gets two really powerful effects, but unfortunately you only use one effect per turn. So most people will search for it. You can reset it with a lot of your other cards' effects and then have the Forbidden Lance effect triggered, or you can search during your opponent's turn to get anything that you've lost off of your other monster's effect, off of a monster being negated or stuff like that, and just get multiple copies. So that is Salamangreat Circle. Fire Fusion. It is a Salamangreat card, so it interacts. It does get treated as a Salamangreat card, so it interacts with a ton of the support in the deck as well. But your primary source with this is polymerization. That is pretty much what this is. Fusing for that Violet Chimera, getting it on the field with the Heat Leo, having them to interact, and then going for the OTK. Then we have Will of the Salamangreat in Sanctuary. So Sanctuary, pretty much, you swap out a Link monster for a Link monster who shares the same name as it, using the monster whose material, and it is counted as a Link summon. The additional effect to it is that if you pay 1,000 life points, target a Link monster you control, and make its attack 0, and if you do, you'll gain life equal to that monster's original attack, but you only use each effect once per turn. So it's not too bad of a thing. You can gain some life points off of a monster and sling into something, or like if it's in, well, it's a very risque scenario if you do this, but for the most part, I think it's supposed to help trigger the Violet Chimera. Otherwise, you're just getting life points so that you can save yourself from damage and stupidity stuff. The Will of Salamangreat is just a hysteric party for the Salamangreats. You can summon the Salamangreat monster from your graveyard, and then you can pop it to summon monsters equal to the number of Link monsters used for a Link summon of a monster you control on the field who had a monster with the same name used as its Link material. So you get a lot of benefits from summoning a lot of cards in your graveyard, so you can go into a lot more of your Link monsters and go into a lot of your setup with your deck. I was considering bumping this to 2 in case I did take out the Fusion of Fire. And that's pretty much the spells. As far as the traps go, we have our counter trap in the form of Roar to negate stuff, and if it's in the graveyard, you can set it back to the field, but it will get banished after the second use. So you primarily want to try to use this when you're sending it with Falco and stuff to set it up, and then have it come back through their effect, and then activate it, then have it come back through its own effect, and then trigger it then. This is a really good card. All you really do need is, like a lot of the cards say, they benefit from when the Salamangreat Link monsters on the field that's used a monster with the same name as its material to summon it. So you get a lot more beneficial effects there. Speaking of beneficial effects, let's talk about Gift and Rage. So Rage, you'll send a Salamangreat card from your hand to Icarus attack. If you can, you target the Salamangreat Link monster you control, and using the same name, and you will destroy you'll destroy up to 2 cards based up to multiple cards based on that monster's Link rating, which is great. Because say for instance you summon someone like Sunlit Wolf, and then you trigger another Sunlit Wolf through a Link summon, and then bam, it's like, okay, well, I'll target my Link monster, and for each material it has, it's going to blow up that many monsters you have, many cards you control instead. So instead of having to send a Salamangreat card, you just blow up and see your Link monster. Salamangreat Gift, discard a Salamangreat monster, and then send a Salamangreat monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then draw a card if you control a Link monster. Instead of, what is it? You discard 1, then draw 2. And you only use each effect per turn, which is perfectly fine because it's still drawing, it's still thinning out the deck, and it's getting a lot of the resources in the graveyard. This card is questioning Foolish Burial, but I wanted something to be just as fast as it. And the only other card, of course, to talk about is the Gozen matches. Despite the fact that I'm running Effect Veiler in the Lady Debug, the main purpose of this card is to help with all the other issues you'll be having, depending on what decks you're playing. If you want to really go for board control, this is kind of the biggest setup to go for board control, is to help, is the benefits of Ghosting Match. So that way you can prevent crazy shenanigans going on. It hurts Ultra guys, it hurts, I think it, for somewhat, it hurts, correct me if I'm wrong, Sky Strikers, because Kagiri, and you can go from Kagiri into Suzuki. You can go into Reina. You can't go into a lot of the cards because, well, they're not all the same attribute when you're trying to link summon, and they don't have a Dark Link. So, yeah, you're making sure a lot of those full attribute decks cannot do anything unless you're going up against something that has a monochrome attribute. And I don't even think Thunder Dragon can get over this because I think most of them are chaos. So yeah, really good combination of cards there. As far as the extra deck goes, because we're moving on to that, and I do apologize for any extra noise that you hear in the background. The Salamangreat Balinks. 3 ofs, and this is primarily because, one, it searches for your sanctuary. Two, you can use, the first thing is you can use this with any level 4 or lower Cyberus monster, so that's why you can easily use this with the Lady Debug. Then you can get a copy of Sanctuary, put the Sanctuary on the field, send the Balinks to the graveyard, and summon another one. The main purpose of Balinks being in the grave is you can banish it to protect your Salamangreat monster from being destroyed by battle or card effect. And that does help out a lot, especially when you try to go into your big stuff. They're trying to run over your big stuff, and you're like, no, I'm going to protect my big stuff so you can't run over it. I'll take the damage, but you're not going to run me over, or you're not going to try to take me out. The Sunlit Wolf has recovery of fire cards when it's used as a link material for the link summon of itself, of a copy of itself. When a monster is no more special summon that's pointing to its link markers, you can add a fire monster from your graveyard to your hand. So this helps with recovering cards like Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, special summons, dealing with stuff that getting a lot of your other fire monsters back to your deck or getting them back to the field so that you can use their abilities again, and just recycling. Other than that, it is a compulse, I believe. Read this. Yeah, it is a compulse. Otherwise, it is just a recover. No, you can send a Salamangreat card from trap from your graveyard. You can add Salamangreat card, spell or trap from your graveyard to your hand, and then it's pretty much a recovery of a fire monster. So you get 2 really good effects, and this is actually still one of the highest price cards, and you just got a little higher even more because the OTS pack's gonna have a hollow of it. So yeah, they made sure when this deck came to TCG, they're gonna hollow it all out. Speaking of hollowing out, of course, we do have hollow versions of Heat Leo. Heat Leo pretty much just works with the next card, and that is the Violet Chimera. I don't know the full combination. I just know that it has to do with alterations, and then the Violet Chimera will have its attack alterated to where it could be, I think, doubled, and then it can just swing at something and win for game. And the Violet Chimera does need a Salamangreat monster and a Link monster for its Link summon, so you can easily just abuse your opponent's Link cards. That's why a lot of people were running Super Polymerization. Well, that's part of my idea of running Super Polymerization. I wouldn't be surprised if that's other people's reason for running Super Poly, but yeah, my main reason was it discards a Salamangreat card, and I confused for my Violet Chimera using something like, I don't know, their Saryuja that they just summoned, and it can't be negated, and their Saryuja just died while on the field. So I got rid of 2 birds with one stone. The only thing I'd have to worry about is them drawing multiple cards in their hand. The Heat Leo is pretty much a Tiara Misu when it's summoned, bouncing cards on your opponent's side of the field back to the deck. And if you use a monster of the same material, you can target a graveyard. And yeah, okay, so then that's when the alteration of attack goes. You target a face of card on the field, and a monster you control, and the attack of the first monster becomes equal to the other target's attack while it's on the field. So that is the Heat Leos and the Violet Chimeras. The Violet Chimera. The only other monster, of course, is the Stag Leo, who has a compulsive effect when used to link summon a Salamangreat monster. Otherwise, you're detaching a material from it to summon a Salamangreat monster from your deck in defense. But the only monsters you can summon for the rest of the turn are fire. A lot of cards are going to have that effect now, where you can only summon specific attributes, types, or monsters of the same class or same archetype. And Staglio is no different. Luckily enough, you have a ton of fire monsters to support you. So, and they all have really great effects. So the Staglio does not go down without a kicking fight, because when it's using Seat Monsters Compulse to a card on the field. This sword has some added backup. I got the lovely Hita, the Fire Charmer Ablaze, and when she's destroyed, which is Black Forest, a fire type monster with 15 or less attack. Otherwise, she can take out some stuff herself. Oh no, she also summons a fire monster from your opponent's graveyard when she is target one is once per turn. So it's not too bad there. And I'm running 2 copies of her. I could run a do a little Chimera for some additional burn, some additional setup. And then I have Abyss Dweller and Cowboy for those rank 4 combinations between a lot of the, very much just what, my Falco and my Jaguar. Abyss Dweller to negate graveyard effects, and Cowboy for 800 points of damage. So that is pretty much it for the Salamangreat deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy. It's very, very budget if you guys can get to it as soon as possible. Just like I said, the Lady debugs are probably going to be the bigger issue because they are flying off these shells like crazy. I had to really rush to get mine. And luckily enough, I got a set. But I do hope you guys enjoy it. This video, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. Hit the notification bell if you want to be aware of videos that will be coming soon in live streams. So thank you guys so much for watching. HBJ signing out. Take care.